Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jan Moses, bringing you another edition of the Salary Cap Report. This video was meant to go live on Sunday, November the 30th, but I wanted to prioritize the Broth Cindy MyTeam show that I had recorded earlier in the weekend just for Sunday, because I spent a lot of time recording that video and honestly working on that video, taking a lot of notes ahead of my first podcast that I've done on this channel in a long time without my co-host Harry. So I got a few comments on that video. Shout out to those of you guys who did comment, such as Mr. Clutch, Crispy. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that kind of content where we did a bit of a deep dive into what we got in season 2 of NBA 2K26 MyTeam, and then briefly discussed what we had in the game for the first 24 hours or so of season 3. We are now 1 day away from the first Tuesday in MyTeam this season, which means we're going to see what 2K has in store for us in terms of these brand new Wild Gem exchanges, which we're going to more than likely get probably a couple of hours after this video goes live. We'll get the teaser or spoiler tweet ahead of tomorrow's drop. I think around 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern, we get that tweet from the MyTeam Twitter page where they give us the graphic showing the new exchanges that we're going to be getting. I'm more so interested in what the agendas are going to look like for tomorrow. I mean, I do care a little bit about what the players in the exchange look like, because as I discussed in the Brock Cindy MyTeam show episode, which dropped yesterday, I was a bigger fan of what 2K did with the Tuesday content in Season 2 compared to what we got in Season 1, because we got a bunch of different players in the exchange that were much more easily attainable than the pink diamonds that we got in Season 1. Cards like Jaeger Demon, Alperen Şengün's diamond card, just to name a couple, were players that I think you could have copped in Season 2, and you can still cop them now. They're still available. If I had to guess, probably until midway through this season. You can go out and add them now, and I think those players, along with a couple of the other players that we got in Season 2 on Tuesdays, will be able to make an impact for you in salary cap, both online and offline. We have a couple of things that I want to go over, though, until we get more details on what we're going to get in terms of the players in the exchange tomorrow, the agendas, which again I am interested in, because I'm curious to see if 2K is going to level up what we've been getting agenda-wise. In the first 2 seasons, we were able to get a gold, emerald, sapphire, and ruby wild gem card from just grinding out very easy agendas. I'm hopeful that 2K is going to allow us to get an amethyst wild gem card, because those do seem to be, at least in those exchanges that I talked about from Season 2, the most expensive component of those exchanges. For example, if we go to the exchange and we look at that diamond Alperen Şengün card that I just talked about, I believe the highest tier card needed in his set is an amethyst, and I've actually been stockpiling amethyst wild gems. You don't really see any in my collection, but that's because I have a bunch of cards sitting in my auction outcomes. I've been slowly but steadily picking up any wild gem card that I see for like 2200 MT and below, because I do think some of these cards could go up in value, and honestly, even if they don't, being able to get a lot of these cards at that price point is going to make completing exchanges for cards like Alperen Şengün, like Isaiah Hartenstein, who, even if he's not going to provide me with a ton of value on the court, or maybe he's not going to provide you guys with a ton of value on the MyTeam courts, I am a Knicks fan, and Isaiah Hartenstein, even though he is now on the Oklahoma City Thunder, will always have a very special place in my heart, because I loved the energy that iHeart brought out there onto the court while he was playing in Madison Square Garden for my New York Knicks, obviously. But being able to complete those exchanges for relatively cheap by sniping some of these cards for not an insane price, but I think 2200 is a pretty decent price, makes it all the more worthwhile for me to get those exchanges done. And then you can see here we do have a couple of amethysts. We have 4, is that it? Yeah, we have 4 amethysts in there, plus another 2 that I picked up from previous auction house work, I guess, if you want to call it that. But yeah, that's what I really wanted to get off my chest regarding the agendas that we're going to get for the Wild Gems content, along with the exchanges that we're going to be getting on Tuesday. I'm hoping for a slight level up in terms of agendas, and hopefully we can, we keep getting better players in the exchange that are lower tier that we could easily pick up and add to our teams. You know, I know a lot of people miss having, you know, the grindable agendas that we used to get on Tuesdays, where, you know, we'd be able to get a complete set for free or decent rewards for free. I feel like, given what 2K gave us last year on Tuesdays, and even what they gave us this year on Tuesdays in Season 1, I thought Season 2 was a step or two in the right direction, because, you know, while those cards aren't grindable, like, again, like the Şengün and, you know, Yegor Demon, Mitchell Robinson, while these cards aren't, like, necessarily grindable in terms of going just, like, from point A to point B, you grind out agendas, you get that reward. There is a way to grind out getting those players, which is, you know, kind of working the auction house, grinding out those agendas. Like, for example, with Şengün, or even DeAndre Ayton, I think. If we go to Ayton for a second, because I forgot what his exchange requirements were. Yeah, you needed 10 Sapphire Wild Gems and then 10 Ruby Wild Gem cards, which meant that if you were patient and you grinded out your agendas for, you know, the previous, that would be 10 weeks, right? Previous 10 weeks, or even just like the first 10 weeks of NBA 2K26 MyTeam, you would have been able to turn in the non-auctionable Ruby and Sapphire Wild Gem cards that you grinded for during those weeks, and turn those cards into DeAndre Ayton, meaning you could essentially just get Ayton for free, just if you were patient for a little bit, you know. And the one word of advice I would give you guys before we move on to the actual, you know, the rest of the content of the salary cap report for today's episode is, you know, these cards are all, you know, guaranteed value. You know what you're getting in these cards, unless there's a player that you absolutely have to add right now. My stance is, as long as there's not a timer on these players' heads, there is no reason to rush picking up any of these cards. Again, unless you just want to add them to your lineups for salary cap or for your main squad sooner, then by all means go out there and you can add them sooner. Like, I can add Isaiah Hartenstein right now, I can add Şengün right now. I'll probably just add iHeart right now, because I don't think we're going to see any other big that comes out that's, you know, a New York Knicks player from, you know, the last like 10-15 years who I'd want to add instead of adding iHeart. I want to have Isaiah Hartenstein. I mean, he's even wearing a Knicks jersey, for crying out loud. But maybe a card like Şengün, I'm going to hold off on for a little bit, or even like, you know, DeAndre Ayton. When these cards came out that first week, I really wanted to add them, but I'm trying to, you know, preach patience, and then also, you know, be patient as well. You know, maybe a card like Yegor Demon, because he's a taller point guard, I will add, because I don't know how many tall point guards 2K is going to add that are amethyst and, you know, that don't require all that much to get. I mean, he literally just requires 10 wild gem point guards. And the other thing is, obviously, as time goes on, the cost for completing any of these exchanges are going to drop, because, you know, week after week we're getting brand new exchanges. People are going to prioritize sniping and, you know, pulling cards from the wild gems packs and from the auction house that will go into those new exchanges, which is going to mean they're not going to focus as much on, you know, getting 10 wild gem point guards for Yegor Demon. So anyways, mini rant right there. But the whole point is, I'm a fan of what 2K is doing, you know, in terms of what we're getting on Tuesday content, because it could be a lot worse. Obviously, it could be a lot better, but this is what MyTeam is nowadays, and I feel like that is, like, that being what we're getting on Tuesdays is much better than what we could have been getting, because what we got in Season 1 for Tuesdays was a disaster. What we're getting on Tuesdays is actually a good way for you to add talent to your salary cap lineups, I think, for relatively cheap, as long as you're smart with working the auction house and, you know, being patient with the players that you earn from agendas to use towards those future exchanges. Anyways, moving on, because we didn't have a ton to talk about today outside of that. I wanted to get that off of my chest. I played one game of salary cap offline this weekend against the highest difficulty team that I could in that run. Excuse me. And we ended up getting 101 points, which is really, really nice. Again, man, if 2K can find a way to give us better rewards for hitting 2,500 points in salary cap in the future, like, I would love to go back to getting shatter prize pieces that end up with us getting some sort of diamond, pink diamond, maybe in the future galaxy opal option packs. I would love that, because what 2K is showing us now is as long as they keep the offline point reward total the same, if you play against the hardest difficulty team in 2 weeks, if you just win 25 games of salary cap offline, which, if you game it right, will take you less than 15 minutes, you're going to be able to easily hit 2,500 points every single, you know, 2 weeks in every single round, just by playing the game mode offline, it's really promising. I just wish the rewards were better because I don't really care all that much about, like these diamond players. We talked about them in the podcast yesterday. They're decent. They're not bad. Are they worth you grinding out 25 games of salary cap offline? I personally do not think so. If it was a shattered prize piece towards a pink diamond option pack, I would be more interested, but then again, it is what it is when it comes to 2K and their rewards this season. We have to just hope for brighter days, hopefully coming ahead in seasons 4 and onwards. I want to show you guys my lineup really quickly because my lineup from Friday did change in terms of their salary values. This team is now non-compliant, but this was a really fun lineup to run with offline. But ultimately, we are going to have to make some changes. Now, I would never run Del Curry online, but at 2,000 salary, I thought he was really good value to run offline. However, now he's back up to 2,500, which means we are going to move on from him. I would rather have I'd rather have OG Anunoby than Del Curry, personally speaking. And I'll show you guys the only other diamond card that is at 2,500 salary or less is OG Anunoby's teammate on the New York Knicks, which is Mitchell Robinson. Oh, and Austin Reeves. I keep forgetting about Austin Reeves. But I think all these cards are at 2,500 because if I go to 2,000 salary, which is what Del Curry was at previously, you'll see that I have no diamond cards available at that salary price point. So moving on now to 1,200 salary, because I want to show you guys who we're going to replace Del Curry with. You're going to see we have a number of amethysts still at this tier, which includes VJ Edgecombe. This is going to be the player who I replace Del Curry with. I honestly think VJ Edgecombe is going to provide more value than Del Curry. But if I remember correctly, VJ was either at 1,500 or at 2,000 salary previously. The fact that he is now at 1,200 makes him an immediate insta add to my team, because just in doing that, we've now saved 1,300 in salary, which now puts us from being 600 over that 12,000 salary cap limit to 700 under, which is really nice. And honestly, it makes the math really easy. So whenever I'm in a situation like this, I try to look and see if I can upgrade any of the players in my lineup or on my bench by a tier or two. So again, I'm looking at, off the bench, I have Craig Elo. He is a 500 salary card. Right now, he's actually currently at 600. So I could easily bench him and I can bring in another amethyst card who is at 1,200 salary to replace him with. Same thing with Charlie Villanueva. Whereas if I were to look at, let's say, Jabari Smith Jr., not Jabari Smith Jr., Harvey Grant, or I guess technically Jabari Smith as well. Both of these rubies are maxed out at 1,200 salary. If I wanted to upgrade these cards up to, let's say, an amethyst card that was worth 2,000 salary, I'd have to basically bench Craig Elo and find another sapphire player who I would like to run in his place, who is at 500 salary. So we could, for example, we could do that too. But just like for now, I wanted to show you guys what I was going to do. I was going to bring in Jimmy Butler, who is at 1,200 salary, and then I do want to take a peek to see is Keontae George at 300 salary. He is, which is really nice. So what I could do now is I could have Jimmy Butler here, and then I could bench Eddie House for Keontae George, and then that way I'm back at 12,000 salary. The other option that I could do if I did not want to add Jimmy Butler, if I love having Craig Elo, or if I love having this other sapphire wing, who I want to see if he's at 500 salary. Is James Posey here? James Posey is not here. How much is James Posey? Is Posey in my lineup already? Am I blind? Posey is not in my lineup. Okay, well, if James Posey was at 500 salary, it would be very easy for me to just replace Craig Elo, who's at 600, with James Posey, save 100 salary, and then I would have 800 salary to basically upgrade either Harvey Grant or Jabari Smith Jr. up to, one of my amethyst players who is at 2,000 salary. But I don't really know if that's going to be possible with my current salary allotment. I don't know if there are any players at 500 salary who I'd want to bring in place of Craig Elo. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to bench Eddie House for now. We're going to bring in Keontae George because my OCD is much happier when we're at exactly 12,000 salary. And there you have it. I think this is a really, really solid lineup right here. Let me know in the comments down below if you are playing salary cap. What does your lineup look like? Or at least what is your starting five, maybe your main 10 players looking like. I know not everyone runs a 10-man rotation like I do. Some people run like a 7 or 8-man. A lot of people run just a 5-man rotation, which is going to be more viable now that we're at 12,000 salary. Before we get on out of here, we do have a couple of packs that I want to open up for you guys, but I don't want to just open up these packs. I finally completed my first run in Breakout, and I went through the current portal, which is for the NBA Cup. I know this is kind of taboo because a lot of people, including Most Ballin, shout out to Most, he does a lot of great content regarding Breakout. A lot of people who are grinding out the Breakout ladder to try and earn that Season 3 mode completion collectible on their way to getting, you know, whether it's Tom Gugliotta or you're trying to get Marc Gasol, they're saying that your best bet if you're grinding out Breakout is to just play through every single game on the first board, go through the warp that pops up in the middle, aka the special portal, and then you'll be able to play through more games that are of the triple threat and clutch time variety, so that you're going to be able to earn one of these Season 3 Breakout Exchange collectibles while you're also making progress towards getting your ladder done. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have zero interest in adding Marc Gasol. I have zero interest in adding Tom Pepperoni. I don't care about any of these people, okay? I don't really have much interest. And if I do have interest in any of them, honestly, I will go out there and I will add Tom Gugliotta just by grinding out the gauntlet, because this will not take all that long. This is like, what, 10 hours of gameplay? And we are on, what, day 3 or day 4 of the brand new season. I have zero interest in Marc Gasol, given that he costs 3 of those mode completion pieces. I just feel like that's a little greedy on 2K's part. We have 39 days to get this done. I don't know, man. I don't have much of an interest in grinding out for that Opal Marc Gasol card. But Tom Gugliotta, or as I just call him, Tom Pepperoni, much more interesting to me if I were to grind it out. But for that reason, if I'm playing Breakout and I'm trying to maximize my rewards, I would much rather play these full lineup games because they really don't take all that long. And then what's really nice is because you're not playing against the random easy, random medium, and random hard lineups, you're playing against these mildly modified Series 1 teams that now have, you know, some wild gems upgrades of players that were on their Series 1 teams. Maybe you see some Galaxy Opal versions of players. Like if I play against the Warriors, I may see Galaxy Opal Draymond and Galaxy Opal Stephen Curry potentially, right? Or the Pink Diamond Stephen Curry. I may see one of those. But regardless, my main team is better than all of them. And at worst, you're playing these teams on All-Star difficulty, which I still think is not going to be all that bad. Now, maybe I'll be wrong, and we're going to find out because I'm going to play through all these games. We're going to do a quick camera cut. And I'm going to come back when I hopefully have 2 more packs to open up for you guys. You can see here, we have a 92 plus hidden gems pack right here, which is a W. We're going to probably take that, and we're going to take one of these 90 plus overall packs. And then I'm going to take the 10K empty because that's a nice reward to get as well. So I need to play against the Hawks. I need to play against either those Warriors that I talked about, or I could play against the Suns. But the thing is, if I play against the Warriors here, this will be on pro difficulty instead of all-star because it's not a corner spot. And then I'm going to try and take this full lineup game against the Spurs. I know they're on pro, but that Wemby, if it's the Pink Diamond Wemby, that could be a bit of a problem. But it should be fun. So we're going to grind these out. I will be back, and we're going to get into opening up those packs. So yeah, be right back. Yo, we are back. That took a little longer than expected, but we got it done. We won all 3 games, walking away with that 92 plus hidden gems pack, the 90 plus pack, and we just got the 10,000 MT, which is really nice. Honestly, I really enjoy playing on these current portals, dating back to Season 1 as well, just because I like playing with my main squad. It's nice to kind of mix it up and use like my more budgety squad for those random easy, medium, and hard lineups when I'm playing on that first Breakout board. But then to transition over to this current portal with the NBA Cup teams, it is pretty nice, especially because you are playing against a lot of these more updated players, right? Like the San Antonio Spurs did in fact have Pink Diamond, Wild Gem, Victor Wembanyama. The Golden State Warriors had the Galaxy Opal Draymond Green, and I believe they had the Galaxy Opal Stephen Curry as well. So it was fun to play against what felt like an upgraded version of the Series 1 teams that I played against in Season 1 when I was grinding out Breakout. So that was pretty enjoyable. And then we're able to still walk away with all 3 of the rewards that we wanted, which is really nice. We are going to play more Breakout on another day because I have to run to work shortly. But I'm really glad I could have, freed up some time to make this video for you guys. And you can see right here the 90 plus overall, excuse me, 92 plus hidden gem, and then we have this 90 plus overall pack as well here, along with the premium. So we're not going to spend too much time here. I'm going to start off with these regular 90 plus overalls. I'm assuming these can also be WNBA players. I don't know if these can be gems of the game. I don't know if we have any amethyst gems of the game cards this year, but I guess we're hoping for a wild gem amethyst. Is honestly, I think, a pretty nice W, because we know those can go into the exchange. I just don't want a WNBA player, I guess. Here we go. Power forward, posterizer, 79 post control from the Phoenix Suns. I have no idea who this could be. Still have no idea who this could be. Is it bad that I don't know who this is? I guess, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. This player is... Drum roll, please. Sometime today. Okay, we get Marquise Chris, who we don't have, and he's from the Chill set. So I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. Marquise Chris, I feel like he may have been a player from the Chill set who I was remotely interested in adding to my collection. Maybe we'll take a look at him later. As I talked about in the last episode of the salary cap report, I am all in favor of stockpiling amethyst and diamond cards, because as the year goes on, those cards become the foundation of your salary cap lineups, especially when they come in at, 1,200 salary for an amethyst and then 2,000 salary for a diamond. We don't hit the plus on either of these 2 packs, but that is to be expected. Let's go ahead and flip this one and see what we get. We get a small forward now with slippery off ball. Is this going to be a woman? No, it's a Bulls player. Who is this? That's not Nocioni, is it? I'll be very happy if this is Nocioni. I was talking about him a couple of videos ago. He's one of my favorite Bulls, and it is Andres Nocioni. I did not get to add him to my collection during the Super Packs last week, so really happy we can add him here. Noch, welcome to the squad. Team Argentina, stand up. All right, here we go. 90 plus overall premium. I'm assuming this just means it can't be a Wild Gems card, but it does not mean that it's not going to be a WNBA player. I think, in fact, last season, when I opened up one of these packs, it's a duplicate as well. It ended up being a WNBA player. We're getting a duplicate here, and it is Jose Calderon, who, funny enough, I have Jose Calderon. Is he always in my exhibition? Oh, that is tough. That is very, very tough. He's still in my exhibitions. I could have easily flipped him and sold him. That is kind of annoying, but we're going to have to just quick sell him for 800 MT. That is really tough, because the one I have in my collection is auctionable. So that's a good lesson for you guys. If you're going to be opening up packs, make sure you have all your players back from the exhibitions, because I could have easily made like 10 to 15k MT from him. He has a couple of added Hall of Fame badges too. So anyways, 92 plus hidden gems. I don't think I have any hidden gems in my exhibitions. Do I just quickly redeem all these right now? We'll do this super quickly. Yes, I still do these. I know it's not for all that much MT, but okay, literally we use Jose Calderon to get a basketball that I already have, a purple ball. Thank you, 2K. All right, cool. We got all of our players back. So yeah, it's not like a lot of MT, but every once in a while you'll hit like a 400 or 500 MT over the course of like a week, a month, a couple of months. It does add up slowly here and there. So yeah, that's why I do those. But if you're not careful, it'll bite you in the ass, like it just did to me right there with Jose Calderon. Okay, 92 plus hidden gem. Really happy I could see this on my first breakout run. I would love to see these packs pop up on my first breakout board. I don't know how likely that is. We'll go ahead and we'll flip this one, hoping we get a brand new card, because I'm assuming diamonds still shake even if you get a duplicate. I would not like to find out right now, as we get a power forward with Rise Up. Who is this going to be? I don't know. Who is this? I still have no idea who that is, but I'm probably not going to ever use this card. Who is it? Oh, it's Antonio McDyess. You know what? I heard some good things about him in Season 1. I don't believe we have him. I don't know if he's good. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Let me quickly take a peek. Will Antonio McDyess literally ever see the floor for me ever? Antonio McDyess. Okay, so he can somewhat shoot the 3 ball. 73 pointers, not great. 80 perimeter, 90 interior, 87. Dude, he's actually not horrible. Box out beast, brick wall on Hoff. Okay, I mean, look, we could have done much worse. He's got a ton of quality rebounding badges. He may be a card that I consider for my backup power forward over Larry Nance, at least for like game modes like Domination and stuff like that, when you're playing against these all-time teams. Could be really fun to have, because I am planning on grinding out Domination. That is the game mode that I want to focus my time on whenever I am on 2K, just because I want to get that Don Nelson, I think it is, coach card, right? Does that sound right to you guys? Yes, Don Nelson. I think this coach card looks pretty damn nice. Some really nice boosts, and then Hall of Fame break starter is really nice as well. So yeah, there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, we'll see what 2K gives us tomorrow. I'm curious to know what those agendas look like, as well as what the new exchange players look like. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend if you celebrated. Otherwise, I hope you just had a regular chill and fun weekend. Back to the grind. It is Monday. I'll see you guys very soon. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.